Okay, guys, we are live. So, for those listening at home, welcome to the Live from the Sword Coast podcast. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly dungeon master this evening. Tonight, sorry, I'm looking off screen because I know that the stream is going to go live in a moment and likely start making noise. So, I am going to try and head it off at the pass, but we shall see here. Boom. Yeah, there I was making noise. Tonight we are continuing on with our ongoing campaign playing Greg Gillespie's very cool Barrowmaze Complete. This is session 30. Well, it's the 35th session, but it's 34.1. And with me tonight are the stars of the Barrowmaze campaign. I'll go left to right here, guys. First up is Chad.
Hey everybody, I'm Chad. Normally I play Roan Scar's horse, a half-orc sorcerer with the demonic bloodline. But I guess I don't know what I'm playing tonight because it's a very special session of Barrowmaze.
And next up is Dave.
Hi everybody, David J. Forte on Twitter and Instagram. And I usually play Wes, the Halfling Ranger. So we'll see how.
Yeah. Last but certainly not least is Jeffrey.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and yeah, that's about it. Tonight I'm going to be drinking some Johnny Walker Green Label.
Very nice. Chad, I saw you had some beverage prepared as well, didn't you?
I am drinking Slaughterhouse American whiskey.
Nice.
I'm trying to recycle as much of my booze before I move as possible.
I mean, wandering around in a bathrobe, surrounded by boxes.
When's the move date, Chad?
We gotta list the house first, but
okay.
I'm hoping to be in the new place by the end of summer.
Nice. And Dave, what is your tasty beverage tonight?
I got a bottle of Gibson's Finest as a gift, and so far it's going pretty good in a Coke Slurpee.
Outstanding. I'm again being a giant loser and I'm drinking water because I ran out of fucking lemon juice too. So I hate my life and I'm ready to bring it out of my players. By that I mean have a really good time tonight. So guys, you can picture that our scene opens in the Barrow Mounds. So we remember what the Barrow Mounds look like. There's the rolling hills full of rocks and whatnot. And in this rolling hill, we see there is a mound. And, this actually isn't. This is on a separate little island, very similar to the Guardian Mound that you guys first explored. It is on a similar kind of thing. There is, it's a little higher up than the other. So there's a kind of a ridge around the side where the water has, sort of like eroded away at the edge of this islet. And on this, we see there is 4 people standing around. There's one person on the ground. There's one person at the door to this thing. And we can tell from the long robes and the kind of arcane tracing and markings on the in gold on the outskirts of this blue robe that this guy's wearing that this is likely some kind of arcane caster. And what this guy does is he puts his hand very carefully up. He grabs the handle for this. For the door going in, slowly turns it down. You hear the click, 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 and the pop as it goes. He slowly pushes the door open, and then he's hit by some kind of vicious arcane energy. And what falls to the ground is a smoldering robe and a charred corpse. You hear someone on the ground scream, no! And the guy on the ground is a human male who's dressed in like chainmail armor and whatnot, but he looks like he is something really fucking horrible has happened to him because he is bloodied and torn, and there's bandages that are seem to be holding this person's vital organs and whatnot inside. And we then sort of cut back and see the door kind of slowly swings open. And the guy on the ground turns to the 4 figures and says, there, you've got to go in now. Go and bring back the thing. Bring back what we know. Now, guys, you may be asking yourself, well, hold on. If the wizard is dead and the fighter's on the ground dead and there's no one else here, who the hell are these 4 characters? Well, you see, guys, after much insistence from our viewers, they've asked that we shift the focus for at least one night from who are really just the sidekicks, which are Badonk and Roan and Web, and put the, I was gonna say Benji for some reason. I had Benji in my head. I call every halfling I call Benji. So to shift from those sidekicks and really get to the meat of this and explore a session about the henchmen. So tonight, guys, you're going to be playing henchmen. However, the rules we use for the heroes in our ongoing Barrowmaze campaign, the Mad Hack, which are basically just the Scarlet Heroes rules written by Kevin Crawford with some twists to them, those are a little too super heroic. That doesn't really reflect the world in which the henchmen inhabit, at least at the degree to which you guys go through henchmen. We need something a little darker and a little more sinister. So to do that, guys, tonight, we're going to be going through the Barrowmaze using Robert Schwalb's Shadow of the Demon Lord. So let me share the what we're going to do first, guys, is we're going to meet who these henchmen are. And we're going to create these characters live. Boom. There is your invite to the game. Guys, would you kindly join our Shadow of the Demon Lord Barrowmaze campaign? Let's see who these fools are who were hanging out at Osen's and got hired on by these, well, doomed adventurers. While you guys are doing that, I'm going to do the old camera shuffle, get myself set up in here.
I'm going to grab my book off the shelf.
Nice. Okay. Now, I know that Dave and Chad, you have actually not played Shadow of the Demon Lord yet.
I have
So I thought this would be a kind of a fun way to not screw up our ongoing campaign, but give you guys a little taste of what we really love about Shadow of the Demon Lord, because Jeff and I have played an awful lot of this. Oh, you know, I may not have muted everyone in in this game. Let me do that quickly. I want video only and video only. Reconnect. So, what we need to do first of all, what I need to do is reposition the cameras. Let's see here. To top. Man, the camera positioning is still screwed up on this, even in this version. Okay, so did you guys all get the invite to the... Oh, you know what, Dave? I may have... Because you're doing your chat on a different thing. Let me quickly email you the link.
Okay.
Okay, that'll probably be easiest. Give me uno... Oh, you know what? Yeah.
You can post it in the Barrowmaze. I'll just copy and paste it into my browser.
Oh, but it's a different game, though. So I can't post it in... Oh, hold on. Can I go into that game? Yeah, I can. Hold on. You're right. Give me a sec here. Let me get out of this game. What am I doing here? Exit game. So what we're going to be doing is, or in Shadow of the Demon Lord, you play characters that run from level 0 up to level 10. And the way that the game works is, or at least is designed to sort of play, is that every session you go up one level. And at 0 level, you are closer in character. Where's it here? Boom. There you go, Dave. It's in the Barrowmaze game. You're closer, to be honest, in capabilities to like a Call of Cthulhu character than you are a Dungeons and Dragons or a, what do you call it, Pathfinder or Scarlet Heroes character. But the dice mechanic in it is insanely easy, and we'll talk about that as we get that. First, we're going to make some characters. So first thing you pick at first level is your ancestry, and the ancestry is sort of what fills in for the or what would be like race in other games. The ancestries you guys can choose from are dwarf, half-orc, elf, goblin, halfling, and human. If you survive your level 0 adventure, you go up to level 1. And then at level 1, you'll pick one of 4 novice paths. And the novice paths are warrior, rogue, mage, or wizard. I can't remember what it's called. I think it's wizard. No, it's mage. And or priest. Then from level, you spend 1 and 2 at your novice path. At level 3, you pick an expert path, which is kind of like your what you would recognize as a class. So like fighter, paladin, cleric, druid, that kind of stuff. And then at level 7, you pick your master path, which is kind of like the Paragon paths from 4th edition D&D. But right now, what we just need to worry about is your basically kind of every men who have been thrown into an unusual circumstance. So what ancestry do you want to be, guys? Human, halfling, goblin, elf, half-orc, or dwarf? And you guys can double up. I'm not fussed with that.
I think I'm gonna try out an elf.
Elf, nice. Okay, let me duplicate a character here for you and assign it. Where are we here? Duplicate. Boom. Boom. Let me edit. Sucka. Okay. Chad, there should be an elf character in the under henchmen now. Boom. If you see. How about you, Dave? What ancestry kind of speaks to you?
What were they again? Elf, dwarf?
Dwarf, elf, halfling, goblin, half-orc, and human.
I'm going to go with half-orc.
Half-orc, cool. Okay, let me make a character here for you. Okay, so what am I going to do here? Duplicate. Boom. Close this sucker off here. Go away, my friend. And edit. Okay. So, Dave, there should be a character called Copy of Half-Orc character listed in there. And how about you, Jeff? Dwarf, half-orc, elf, goblin, halfling, or human?
I'm just going to go with boring old human.
Boring old human. Nothing wrong with that. You have certainly explored a lot of the more unusual races in our other campaigns. So that is quite all right. Okay, so guys, let's see here. Boom. Boom. Okay, so everyone should have a character sheet now. You guys can feel free. We won't rename them just yet, but go ahead and open up your character sheet and go to the first page there. Now, each of the characters has, let's see here. Each of the characters has four key stats, and then there's a couple derived stats. Your key stats, which are like your basic characteristics: strength, agility, intellect, and will. You start at a set amount, and then that's determined by your ancestry. You can also raise 1 by 1 and lower 1 by 1. Now, the way that dice rolls work in this is it's a D20, and then you add or subtract the amount that your key attribute, is higher than or less than 10. So if you've got an intellect of 11, you add +1 to intellect checks. In Shadow of the Demon Lord, almost always your difficulty is either 10. If it's not contested, it's a 10. If it is contested, then it's going to be determined by whoever you're testing the thing against. And it's usually their attribute or their defense. In, let's see here, your derived attributes are your health, which is like your hit points, your perception, which is a stat, not a skill in this, and your defense, which is determined by your agility. Each of your characters, too, if you go to the Equipment/Talents tab, it should have your special abilities. And I filled those out. If you click on the dice room or the little dice icon, it will display it in chat if you want to see what it is. Now, one of the things, so what you're going to decide is you can raise one of your primary stats, your strength, agility, intellect, will. You can raise it 1 by 1 and lower 1 by 1. So if you kind of have an idea that you want to be a fighter, you probably want to raise your strength up. If you know you want to be a rogue, you want to raise your dex up. You're a wizard, you want to be an intellect up. And if you're if you're kind of thinking you're destined for the priesthood, your will probably you want to bump up. So What you will be determining as well is your starting professions. So do you guys want to do your stat modifiers kind of at the outset and then kind of work our way through character gen? Or do you want to wait and see what your professions are and then make those decisions afterwards based on what your professions are?
Are professions like randomly determined or?
Yep, we're going to randomly determine pretty much everything in this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then if you're going to let me wait, I'll wait.
Sure, yeah. Why don't you guys, okay, let's do that. Because then it gives you a chance to optimize the character and you don't have weird, like, boy, all my professions are all book learning and I'm really fucking strong now. Shit. Okay, so let's start off with, Jeff, I'll come back to you because you've played this before. So let's start with, actually we'll go reverse order. So Dave, let's open up let's see here, your half orc. All right. So these character sheets, incidentally, are really, really good. Like the modifications and whatnot in this game are quite good. Or the integration, I should say, into the character sheet is quite good. All right, so Dave, first thing we're going to start with is your half orcs or your half orcs age. Would you kindly give me a 3d6 roll, please? Let's see how far along your character is in life. 7. You're an adolescent. You're between 8 and 12 years old. So you're pretty young.
Okay.
Give me another 3d6 roll. Let's check your build. 14. Corpulent. So you're a chubby teenage orc.
So Kev, you're just using the orc for this and just calling it half orc? Okay.
Yeah. Would you kindly give me another 3d6 roll? Let's check out your appearance. A 10. 10 is you are ugly. You have thick tusks jutting from your broad jaw, a sloping forehead, and tiny eyes set deep in your skull.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay, let's check personality. Another 3d6, please. A 9. A 9 is yeah. So your personality, Dave, is described as kill. Kill with an exclamation mark. And would you kindly give me a d20 roll as well? This will be, we're going to check your background. Let's see what, an 18. Interesting. Oh, cool. You took a sword from the corpse of a warrior you killed. Interesting. So that also means that you have a sword to start with, which is a big deal because you don't necessarily do that. Okay, now, Dave, would you kindly give me again, you can roll these at the same time, a d6 and a d20. So a d6 and a d20. Okay. Okay, so your first profession is barbarian. So if you go under your professions, you can just list barbarian as one of your professions. And then repeat that, please. A d6 and a d20. Another 6, another wilderness skill or thing. 19. And a trapper. Okay. So your professions are barbarian and trapper.
Sweet.
So the way professions work in this, guys, there is the other mechanic. There's generally, apart from your stats, you're not adding other modifiers. You will be getting boons and banes. What boons are is a d6 you roll and add to the dice to your result, and banes are the same thing but reversed. If you have multiple boons and banes, you just roll them and take the highest. So if you're rolling 3 banes and you rolled, say, you know what your last roll was there, a 6, a 2, and a 1, you would take the 6 and either subtract that if it's a bane or add it if it's a boon. Okay, so you're a barbarian and trapper. Your professions, when you're making a test and one of your professions would fit, like if it makes sense as a barbarian or as a trapper, you would, this would be in your wheelhouse. You get to add a boon to your roll. Now give me a 3d6 roll again. This is going to determine your wealth. 6. Ooh, poor. You live in squalid conditions and you're never sure when you're going to get your next meal. So as poor, what you have, so you're going to have a sword for sure. You also have either a staff or a club or a sling with 20 stones. You have patched basic clothing, a sack, bread, a water skin, a tinderbox, a candle, and a pouch containing 2d6 bits, so like 2d6 copper pieces. So, and then maybe, Jeff, if you don't mind, I'm on page 25. I am going to go on to the interesting things. Would you mind typing out just what his gear is? So Dave can cut and paste it and put it on his character sheet?
Oh, yeah, like into the chat?
Yeah, please.
Cool.
Okay, and then Dave, you also start with an interesting thing. So give
Sorry,
me
which level was he?
he's poor.
He's poor. Okay.
Yeah. And Dave, you get also an interesting thing. So give me a D6 and then a D20. 3, 19, eh?
I'm getting rid of all my high rolls during this.
Yeah. So you also have a box of 6 fine white candles. So that's gee. So that's
Well, you do have that sword, though.
You do have a sword too, which is not a small, it's not nothing. And so the sword is let's see here. It's on basic melee, military melee. Where's the sword? Okay. Dave, do you think that a sword? Actually, yeah, the sword is pretty fucking badass. So to give you context to make the decision here, your sword does 1d6 plus 2 damage, and it's one-handed. It requires a strength of 11 or higher to use it, and I think as an orc you've already gotten 11, so you're good. What you the other two things do. The staff does 1d6 plus 1. It's a two-handed weapon, but it is a finesse weapon, which means you can use strength or agility to use it. The club does 1d6 flat damage, but it has no strength modifier. And the the sling is a ranged weapon that does 1d3 damage and it has a medium range. This has abstracted range, kind of like the Fantasy Flight Star Wars and Conan and stuff like that. So that should help you decide. I'm hoping that'll help you decide what you want to use. And I'm going to add your sword because we know you've got that.
You're going to probably want to use the sword in all likelihood.
Okay. You have a sword listed on there now too. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time to think about this character then, about Vargosh. I see you've given him a name now. Actually, let me edit this so it's got his name.
I'm going to go with the sling.
Good call. Okay. Jeff, would you mind typing the sling is on page 103. Would you mind typing the stats for the sling so Dave can add that as a weapon?
Yeah.
Oh, he's already doing that at the bottom there. Look at that. And then Dave, now knowing sort of what this guy's background is, where he came from, you can feel free to bump your bump one of your stats up by 1 and one of them down by 1. I just realized that your health was 1 too low, so I bumped that up. So your agility will determine your defense, your strength will determine your health, and your intellect determines your perception, and your will determines is tests for like fear and stuff like that. If you see this guy being destined for, we've gone through what sort of they're destined for. So, okay.
He's destined to lose some weight in the Barrowmaze.
Yeah. He's a chubby, hyper-violent hireling.
Hey.
Okay. I'm looking forward to learning where he got those those candles from.
Do you need me to type up the sword too, or did you add that?
No, I added the sword already.
Okay.
Okay, so Chad, let's talk about the elf.
Okay.
So would you kindly first start with a give me a D20 roll. Let's see what your background is. Ooh. So you had a tryst with a human that resulted in the birth of a half-elf. You have abandoned both.
Perfect.
Yes. Okay, one sec here. I'm just going to switch up one thing. Now, would you kindly... Where am I here? Right, give me a 3d6 roll, please. Okay. You are curious about the world beyond your home and seek new experiences among the fascinating creatures there.
Okay.
Would you kindly give me another 3d6 roll, please? That's 16. Oh, you are, boy, you are old for an elf. So you're between like 200 and 300 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. So what? That's interesting. So why the hell did you go out now? Would you kindly give me another 3d6 roll?
Like that they're like opposites.
Yeah. So as an elf, and this is not like this would be again like knowing what elves look like. You're a little bit overweight.
Okay.
Or maybe you were like living soft before you decided to explore. You know, the fascination for the other world. And give me a yeah, give me another 3d6 roll, please. Get your appearance here. 12. You're perfectly average in appearance. You look like kind of a bog standard elf. Neither super attractive. I mean, attractive as far as elves go, obviously, but not super attractive, not super unattractive. All right, let's now take a look at your professions. So would you kindly give me a D6 and a D12 roll, please? 4. Ooh, Marshall. Oh, sorry, D12, not or 20, not 12. Sorry, I misspoke. 5. So your first profession, going to the main page here. First profession, jailer.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, jailer.
And then give me a D6 and a D20 again. So choose a common one. 8. Drover or herder? So you were a jailer and a drover or herder. That's really fascinating. And then would you kindly give me one more 3d6 roll? This will be your wealth. How much money you got right now?
Sorry, 3d6?
Yes, please. An 11. Getting by. You earn enough to meet all your expenses. So getting by means you have a dagger, a staff. You know, I can actually type this out because Jeff's going to be making his character in a moment here. So I'll just go. See, yep. Dagger, a staff, or club, or sling with 20 stones, fine clothing, a backpack, cloak, a week of rations, a water skin, a coil of rope. I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong fucking sheet here. I'm looking at comfortable, not getting by. Both here. backpack, a week of rations, a water skin, tinderbox, 2 torches, and a pouch containing 1d6 or pieces. So that's what you've got. So the dagger you have, then you get to choose either a staff, a club, or a sling. So to give you context for the dagger is right here. Dagger does 1d3. It's finesse, which means it can use either strength or agility to attack. It's thrown to a range of short. By comparison, the staff is 1d6 plus 1 damage. It's two-handed, and it's finesse as well, so you can use agility or strength to attack. And the sling has a range of medium. It does 1d3, and it's a range attack, so it does it uses agility instead. So which of those? I'll put your dagger under your weapons here.
I think I'm going to go with the staff.
Good call. And what do you want to do? Whoopsies. Go for the staff, or rather for your. We got to roll your other thing. I'm going to assume you're going to use your agility.
Ooh, 1 copper left. Yes, I'll be using my agility.
Okay. So then you have the option of bumping one. First, actually, let's roll your thing, your interesting thing. Give me a d6 roll and a d20, please. A 1. Okay.
The 1 was I was rolling my copper pieces.
Oh, copper. Okay, so the 2 and then d20 is a 3. 2 and a 3. You have a tiny idol of a demon carved from green stone. That is interesting. Okay, so we know what you've got. We know what your sort of background is. We just need a name, and we need let's see here. We need your name and your choice of what stat you want to bump up and what stat you want to go down. Okay. Dave, are you here?
Kind of. I can't seem to get on to roll 20.
Oh, here, Dave. This is where you want to go. Boom. Anyway. Boom.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're very welcome, because Dave, we're doing something special tonight.
Ooh, what are we doing?
We are playing henchmen.
Okay.
Using
Yes.
Shadow of the Demon Lord.
Yes, we are.
I'm just going to get Dave's character or Jeff's character created here now. So we've created Dave and Chad's. So maybe if you do have your book at hand, you might want to grab that. Because I think you have a copy of Shadow of the Demon Lord as well, don't you?
I do. I'll grab that.
So Jeffrey, what are we going to do about this human guy? So let's start with first your so here's the neat thing about playing a human. You can either speak one extra language or add a random profession, so we can remember that at the end of your character generation. So
Okay.
Jeff, I'm on page 12. You want to go ahead and give me a d20? Let's find your background.
All right. D20. 12.
You have a spouse and 1d6 minus 2 children.
Oh my gosh. 1d6.
Oh,
no.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh,
Hold on,
so
I gotta write
you have
this down.
a spouse and 4 kids. Give me 3d6 for your personality.
Where's background? Is there a spot?
I don't under
It's
description.
in
maybe.
description. Yeah, hold on. I'm just gonna write this down.
Sure.
Wife and 4 kids.
Yeah, I'm gonna do is while you're doing that, I'm gonna quickly I'm gonna go to the sheet that I need, and I'm gonna start loading your tokens up because you guys will. Chad, do you have a name for your guy?
Carewill. I think I entered it on my name.
So then what I
CARWYLL.
Okay, here we go. But I've
So I
got a
roll
woman.
Oh, 3d6.
It's a man or a woman?
Man.
And Kate, let me change the image quickly to just another generic elf. Generic elf number 6.
Here we go. 16.
Actually, Dad, I think what to do here, so I'll let you just kind of read
I'll
out.
tell everybody what I got.
Mhm.
So my personality is I try to do what I think is right, even if it breaks laws and social conventions.
Ooh.
So always tries to do what.
Jeff, you asked about backgrounds. There's a tab at the top for backgrounds.
Oh yeah, there is. Well, that's okay. I'll keep it on the description because then I can see it. The background is kind of hidden away. Okay, next I have to roll in a religion.
Ooh. And we'll just have to reskin that to fit the Barrowmaze setting, but let's see what it is.
So I belong to the cult of the new god.
Ooh, so that'd be Saint Yig for sure. Because that's the most kind of like Christian style thing.
So worshiper of Saint Yig.
How's that, Wick?
Where is it?
Yig is just Y-I-G or what is it?
YG.
Just
I
YG.
think.
Is that the one that Dave, you're into?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll work.
Okay.
Okay. Now I have my human age. So where'd the dice roller go? What the heck? It's hidden. Oh, there it is. 3d6 again.
Vargosh. 2 character sheet out here.
14. I am middle-aged, 36 to 55 years old.
Makes sense with all the kids.
It does make sense.
You need some time to bang them out.
Literally. But bum.
So let's go with my actual age. I am 41.
Nice.
Years old, and my build. Another 3d6. It just loves these 3d6. Here we go. Uh-oh. You are tall. Interesting.
Are you playing a human, Jeff?
Yeah. And then one last thing, my appearance.
Where is Carol?
One last 3d6.
Which let's see here. Oh, you bumped your agility up by 1? Quick.
Yes, agility up by 1 and will down by 1.
Awesome. Okay. Oh, that's so good.
You have a physical quality about you that makes you attractive to others. You might have pretty eyes, lips, hair, shape, or something else.
Pretty awesome. Dave, do you want to play a human, a dwarf, a half-orc, an elf, a goblin, a halfling, or a human?
No changeling or no clockwork, eh?
No, not in this setting. Is this still in the Barrowmaze?
Would you mind running through those again?
Sure. Dwarf, half-orc, elf, goblin, halfling, and human. We have so far a half-orc, an elf, and a human.
Let's go with a dwarf then. Sure, why not?
Nice. Going back to your roots. It's Baradin Part 2.
I almost forgot about him.
I keep all of your guys' characters logged away in my head for eventual recycling. So,
Hey, now I see why.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so here we go, Dave. Let's get your. There should be a character called edit copy of dwarf character in the list of henchmen there now. That is your character. So we're going to go through with yours. Jeff, sorry, I interrupted you. How goes our humans creation here?
Good. I was just about to get to the background.
He seems like
the professions.
Yeah, pretty stand-up guy so far.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, first I roll a d6 to see which type of profession.
Yeah.
2, common.
Okay.
So I work common professions.
D20.
And now I roll this either 2 or 3 times?
Yeah, you get 2 or 3 now. You can take another language or you can take another profession.
Well, judging from his life, I doubt he's knowledgeable in languages. He's probably worked a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
So, his first job is a miner.
Oh, cool.
So, miner. His second profession is apothecary or healer.
Oh, wow. That's interesting.
And its final one is 14, a merchant.
A merchant. Interesting. Oh, wow. So he's been all over. I mean, 41 is a ripe old age for, human in a medieval setting, right? So
Choose a good. Now,
choose a...
the goods listed here are arms, grains, livestock, slaves, spices, and textiles. I don't
What do you
suppose
think?
I can. Let's say arms.
Arms, okay. Choose an arms merchant. Okay. So then the only thing we need from him then is his wealth level. Let's roll this interesting thing. The wealth level you can do on your own, but before I go to help Dave with his character, let's see what his interesting thing is. So a D6 roll and then a D20.
What?
So a D6 and a D20 for your interesting thing.
Oh, for the interesting thing. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll let you roll wealth on your own because that's not quite as interesting. So table 4 and then give me a D20.
D20.
6. Your interesting thing is a tiny, inert, mechanical owl. That's so cool. All right. So then last but not least, we need a name for your guy. Do you have a name for this ex-merchant apothecary guy?
Let's name him Robert.
Roberto. Okay. Let me change this thing here. Actually, the image fits pretty well for what he ended up being. All right, so and Robert, let me get a token down here for you. There we go. So what's happened? Just to fill in what's happened so far, guys, is basically you guys have been you guys were all hired as henchmen for these adventurers. One adventurer, so 2 of them, the rogue and the cleric, were dragged off by ghouls. The fighter was horribly injured in that fight. And then the mage, as you just saw, was vaporized by a trap, or rather incinerated by a trap, leaving only you guys and the injured fighter left to explore this thing. So, Dave, let's talk about your dwarf character. Would you kindly... of course, Jeff, you can add bump up one of your stats by 1 and one of them down by 1.
Kev, for the human, it says I choose that they're all 10, and it says choose 1 attribute and increase it by 1.
Oh, you also get that. Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so I can do increase 1 by 1, and then increase 1 by 1 and lower 1 by 1.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, Dave O, would you kind of give me a 3d6 roll, please?
Sure thing.
Let's see how old your guy is.
So old.
8. You were a young adult. 31 to 50 years old.
Oh, cool.
Okay. Give me another 3d6. Let's roll your build. 5. You are short and fat.
It's hurtful, but okay.
Sorry. Then let's roll your appearance. Another 3d8 or 3d6. 13. You take pride in your appearance. You stay clean. You oil your facial hair and perhaps braid it or tie it with metal rings. Would you kind of give me a D20 roll? Let's see what you hate.
I hate
Demons! You hate demons!
I hate demons.
So the focus of your hatred, you get a plus. You get a boon on all rolls against the focus of your hatred.
Well, that's fortuitous that we were playing
Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
Would you kind of give me a D20 roll for your background?
Right.
4. You stole gold from a rival clan, and the theft shames you.
Does it actually, though?
And then 3d6. Let's roll dwarf personality. 13. You surrender to the will of your ancestors, the customs of your people, and the good of all.
Already? He seems a little conflicted to me. I'm just saying.
I would say so, yeah. Well, I mean, they say that the source of all drama is the conflict between wants and needs for characters, so your guy's got it in spades.
Right.
Now, would you kind of give me a D6 roll and a D20? Let's see what your profession is. You get 2 professions.
Okay.
So 4, martial, interesting. And 18. You're a soldier.
Oh.
So you're under professions. You can put down soldier as your first one on the top right there. And then would you kindly give me another D6 and another D20 roll?
Do I write martial as well, or?
No, just soldier.
Okay.
Hey, Kev.
Yeah.
Just quick here. I rolled comfortable, and it says you have a small shield, an incantation of a rank 0 spell of the GM's choice, or a healer's kit, toolkit, or writing kit. If it's cool with you, I'm going to say I have a healing kit, seeing as I was a healer as one of my professions.
Totally makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense for me. Okay, so then a 4 and a 5. Interesting. Another martial profession. 5, a jailer. So two jailers in the group. That's cool. Okay, then would you kindly give me a 3d6 roll? Let's see how wealthy your character was.
3d6, you said?
Yes, please. 13. Getting by. You earn enough money to meet your expenses. So that means you have a. Oh, you know what? I can cut and paste it from Chad because he had the same level. So this is what you start with. Dave. Boom. Boom. There we go. So you get a choice of either a staff, a club, or a sling, as well as you get a dagger and then the other stuff. Okay. Let's also, Dave, give me a D6 and then a D20 again. Let's see what your interesting thing is. A 5, okay, and then a 9. You have an animated mouse skeleton.
Oh, why? Why would I have that?
I have no idea. I guess it's your pet. You have this little pet that's a fucking animated mouse skeleton.
Maybe it was something that the cat at the jail brought you as a gift, and you thought it was such a sweet memento you'd keep it forever.
Yeah, totally.
That's actually a really good backstory for it.
Yeah.
That's a really good backstory for it. I'm still carrying on garbage, but at least now I know why.
Dave, what do you think your dwarf's name is?
Let's go with Dramrin.
Dramrin, okay. Do I have that spelled right on your character sheet?
I don't know. Yes, you do.
Okay, so let me just edit this here. Okay. Boom. So we got Drammer in there. And then Dave, you as well get to raise one attribute by 1. So either your strength, your agility, your intellect, and your will, and then lower 1 by 1.
Oh.
You can just leave them as is if you like, but I mean, you if you've got something that you know you're kind of working towards, like war, I don't know, if you're going to warrior, if you're going to mage, or adept, or you're going to priest, then you'll know which, which one you need to have up. For Dave and F and Chad, one of the really cool things about this is you can make some really interesting characters, because like it's really, you can spread your different paths, which are effectively like your classes. You can spread them across a bunch of different things, so you can make really neat combination characters.
I think I figured out what my random rolled backgrounds mean.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. I figure that the mother of my half-elf bastard was in my jail, and because I've got a low willpower, I let her out, and we ran away and lived among her hurting people.
Nice.
Until I got bored.
That's great. Okay. How about Vargosh, Dave? Do you have any idea of what Dave F. what Vargosh is sort of what brought him to this circumstance?
No, I've been enjoying listening to everybody else make their characters. Let me think of something real quick.
Okay. Someone's getting Carewell and Boberto. How about Robert? What is so Robert's got 4 kids at home, and yet he's willing to brave the dangers of the Barrowmaze in search of treasure. Maybe he's
I think that he's a local, so he's lived here his whole life. Like he grew up here. He's one of the actual locals from what's the name of the
Helix.
Helix. Right. He's an actual he started out mining and sort of advanced. He worked with the Church of St. Yig, doing some working in the apothecary, helping them make healing potions, and he got into arms trading at some point, and he's just been inspired to raise his family out of sort of working class and maybe move away from Helix by trying to adventure in the Barrowmaze.
Okay, cool. And what about Dramrin? What's brought him into the middle of this Barrowmaze?
Shame. Mostly shame.
Mostly shame. Which stat did you bump? Which stat did you put down?
I decreased agility and increased will.
Nice. Okay. Oh man, your defense is so low. Jesus.
So low.
That's awesome. Okay. So you guys find yourself, you see what's on the map there. I do have you on the right map, I think. Yeah. So that is the entrance to this barrow. You're not sure, because you're henchmen, you don't really know how they got out here, but these guys hired you in, hired you in Helix. You traveled over to Bogtown and then traveled through the Barrowmaze or the Barrowmoor to get to this place. So maybe I'll quickly switch over to this screen just to give you a quick geography thing here. Let me get rid of all these characters. There's so many on here right now. Boom. Okay, so you guys went from Helix, traveled through past Iron Guard Mott, down into Bogtown, and then you guys sort of made a way directly southwest into the Barrowmaze. So you're kind of like on the Barrowmoor. You're kind of at the I guess you would have gone up in this direction. Sorry, it's in the northwest. You're sort of on the southeastern corner of the Barrowmoor. As for how they found out about this place, they seem to be working from a map of some kind. But the only surviving person is that really critically injured human fighter, and he's told you that you'll each get equal shares. So just go in there, get whatever's in there, and you'll get equal shares of this stuff. So what do we now? We got Vargosh, Dameron, Robert, and Carewell kind of standing around. What are you guys going to do?
That's what it's here for.
awesome. Okay, so what you see in there, Vargosh, you see that the half orc just stops forward. It's like, all right, we're doing this. Actually, let me quickly double check, make sure that the stats are correct here. Yeah, your defense is equal to your agility. Great. Your defense is equal to your agility. Awesome. Roberto, perfect. Perfect. Did anybody raise their intellect?
No.
Huh? Why would we do that?
Yeah. Okay, so Vargosh has gone in. What about the rest of you guys? He's what there is there, Vargosh, is there's a set of stairs that are leading down. That that kind of open area that you see before you is well, actually, here's the thing, Vargosh. You do have low light. Well, you got dark vision, I guess. Would you kindly give me a perception check, please? So the way you're going to do that, and it's actually, I think it's called a test in this game. No, it's called a challenge. What you're going to roll is if you click on your perception, it should ask you about boons and banes. Does it do that? So on your main sheet first, boom.
Main sheet.
Yeah, and what you do is you hover over where the bonus from perception is. See, it says +0. Oh, you dropped your intellect by 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. Your unfortunately your perception goes down by 1 then too. So if you hover over the bonus on the bottom left of the perception, just click on that, and it should ask you boons and banes. Now, okay. You've got barbarian and trapper. Do you think either of those would apply for, like, spotting things of interest in a crypt like this?
Hell no.
Hell no. Okay, then let's go ahead and roll. What do we get here? A 9. Oh, so close. So close. So you do not catch it in time. What I need you to do is give me a agility challenge. Now, anytime I ask you guys to do a challenge, it means a difficulty of 10. So your challenge is going to be a 10. Yeah, give me an agility challenge, please, there, Vargosh.
Okay. But being a barbarian, I'm, constantly dodging things to save my life.
Yep, I'll give you a boon for that.
So what does that mean?
That means you add a boon. So when it prompts you and asks boons or banes, just hit 1 and then hit enter. It'll roll a d6 and then add that to the result. Oh God, but that doesn't help. When you roll a 5. Oh shit.
Woo.
Okay, so Vargosh, you step down and you're like, it looks like Dramarin's coming in behind you. You're about here and starting to walk out. When you realize, like, you're walking in something, it's some kind of liquid, and it is fucking burning you. Oh God, it burns! It burns! You take 2 points of damage. So, Dramarin, you see him go down. He goes striding, like, down the stairs. He hits that bottom, and he starts walking something and is screaming. It burns! It burns! Vargosh, what are you going to do?
It burns.
Are you just, like, you're walking? It seems like this whole bottom layer here is all covered in some kind of liquid.
Well, I'm going backwards then.
Okay, so you... your shabby, shitty boots are basically being eaten away right now.
Frick.
So, Dramarin, you get to the bottom of the thing, and you see what's happened. He's screaming and kind of stomping on his boots, and there's a little bit of like mist or whatever coming from them. I'll make you guys a little smaller because I picture these being about 10 feet wide, so I think I can fit 2 of you guys in here. Let me just make your tokens a little smaller so it's easier to see. Okay, there we go. Dramarin, would you kindly give me a perception check as well? Oops. And if Carwell and Robert, are you guys just hanging out outside or what?
No, he's following them in. He's just cautious.
Okay. How about Carwell?
Yeah, I'll go in.
Okay, the injured fighter is like, you don't get paid if you don't go in. All right, so Dramarin, give me a perception check, please.
Now, on the sheet, Kev, where...
So if you hover, it's under the bottom left of your character sheet. There's a little bonus there. If you click on that, it'll prompt the, whether you a boon or a bane. I'm going to give you a boon because you just saw Vargosh do something strange.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, and then just hit roll.
Yeah, that makes sense.
13. Okay, so you can see that the boots have almost been completely charred away. So his bare, burned, disgusting half-orc feet are kind of poking through this. And you look down, and there is this kind of viscous, like gray liquid. I'm assuming that somebody has lit a torch here, and it seems to fill up the whole area down here. What are you going to do? So the liquid itself is not translucent. Like you can't see the floor. It's this pasty kind of like grayish stuff. Right now, you got your torch above your head to sort of like to get the most light from it, and it fills up. On the far side here, guys, there is a wall, and this wall over here is made of a different stone than what the actual side chamber is.
I'll stick my staff in it to see if it's corrosive or.
Yeah, it starts. You hit it, and it starts kind of like burning away at your staff.
Ooh, nope.
Carol and Robert, you guys are kind of down near there as well. Vargrosh, what are you doing right now?
I'm stomping out, or not stomping, but trying to get out. Like, this is terrible. What the hell are you trying to do? Kill my feet? And then I look around. That wizard fall down. How big are his shoes?
His shoes. You will make do on them.
I'll squeeze them on, and if they're too big, I'll stuff my boot remnants in the toes. If they're too small, I'll just find a way.
Yeah, I think it's more a likelihood of them being too small.
Yeah, the fact that I'm a chubby teenage half-orc doesn't help, but
yeah. Okay. So you start jamming these shoes onto you, and you're going to make them fit. Carol and Robert, you're able to make your way down to the base of the stairwell, and you can see the same thing too. This whole kind of bottom area is full of that kind of like undulating liquid. Would each of Carol and Robert give me a perception check, please? And you can get a boon on that as well.
All right.
Perception. Oh, wait, my perception should be a 9, right? Like if I changed my intellect?
Yes, if you did. Whether it goes up or down, just bump the perception up or down by the same amount.
One boon.
Oh, man. Okay. So
Robert's
one of the things that triggers things is rolling over 20 is a big deal in this game. It often triggers special spell effects or special character effects, like doing crit damage and stuff like that. So Robert, you get down there, and there's two things you can spot. Are you having difficulty there, Chad?
Yeah, just not seeing where the.
Okay, so you see where in the bottom, you see the circle that is your stat score for perception?
Yeah.
On the bottom right or bottom left of that, there's a little circle that has a modifier in it. It could be plus 0, plus 1. Click on that, the modifier. Okay. I just heard Jaden through the echo. He's very excited. Okay, and then what will probably happen, Chad, is that it prompted you to ask if a boon or a bane. Add 1 boon.
Yeah, so I'm not getting wrong here.
It might be in the
main. If you plus 1, or it'll wreck the formula.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, wait, there it is.
Yeah, so it might be prompting in the main screen if you've popped your character sheet out.
There we go.
Perfect. 16, really good as well. Okay, so one thing that both of you notice is, so you're looking at this stuff, and there's it's this grayish paste, like dark gray paste that seems to be, it's like a pasty kind of thing because it's got a thick consistency to it. And then you notice that there's a eye that sort of like drifts through this and kind of opens up and then closes. And what you can notice, Jeff, because Robert rolled so well, is there's actually here and here, it looks like there's a little like sluice gate or something like that would let this shit through. But what I first need you guys to do is all 3 of you, since Vargosh is outside right now, he's not going to have to roll. But I need the 3 of you to make a will save for me, because that is a terrifying thing. You realize that what's in this is basically like congealed, necrotic, liquefied body parts.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
No, no banes, no boons on this. So just a will check. Oh, no.
No.
Okay.
Oh, that's so bad.
Okay.
Way to go, old guy Dave.
Robert's seen worse. And Carol's a little, what is going on here? So that's a good opportunity. So Dramrin and Carol, you guys each get a point of insanity.
Oh, good.
Yes, because that is horrifying. There's no other. You're going to have time to recover from it, so you're not going to suffer any significant penalties. But the way it works is that basically, if you're horrified, you get a bane on all of your actions until enough time passes. So, what do you guys do to react? Like, what's the reaction we see from Dramrin and Carol?
Dramrin reels in horror and removes himself back up the stairs to where Vargosh is.
You see Vargosh is putting on a pair of very charred boots that are clearly too small for his feet.
Which disgusts Dramrin just as much as what he's just seen. It's like, ew, gross, dude.
Okay. And Carol goes out as well. So, Robert, what do you do?
I'm ducking behind Robert, and I'm going to try to light a torch because, like, this is the kind of thing you got to kill with fire.
Sure. Yeah. So you get your torches lit from Dramrin's. What are you guys going to do?
You said that I maybe spotted somewhere where I could control its flow.
No, it looks like there's holes in kind of the second, like the wall, the arch wall that's in front of you, as if like there's an area where this stuff would sluice through. So it could pass through the wall. There's a little passageway or something, a little hole in the bottom, right at the base of the wall. Kind of picture like a cartoon, mouse hole in the baseboard. It's kind of like that.
Yeah.
They're like grates. Kev's trying to make the Barrowmaze great again.
Yeah. So what are you going to do, guys? Robert, you've certainly seen worse than this, so that doesn't phase you at all.
What kind of miner were you? You've seen worse than
It's a
this.
standard miner. I wasn't mining human sludge.
Okay, what are you guys going to do?
If I lit a torch off of Dramrin's, I'm going to hand it to Robert and say, burn it.
Okay. He'll attempt to light it on fire.
Okay.
Hopefully it doesn't blow up. We'll fucking die.
So you head down to the base of the stairs there, and you bring it down to burn. And when you get within about a foot of it, the stuff kind of like, clears back, and you can see the floor. You move a little further forward, and more of a kind of, imagine like, sticky putty or something like that moving in reverse. That's sort of what's happening. There's a horrible fucking stench down here as well. This is like pickled remains. If you've had trading as a healer, you may have seen like preserved organs or something like that, and that's the smell you've got here.
But it is retreating from the flame?
It's retreating from the flame, yeah.
Okay, I'll make my way over to the grate.
Okay.
Keeping it back with the torch.
So it seems to basically like retreat into the grating. It's split into two kind of portions now. There's one on the right, one on the left. So
okay, and the one that's sort of going. So yeah, if I'm going that way, then it's like retreating into the grate.
Yeah, so it's retreated over here and into the wall.
Is there anything that I could use to block that grate off, or a switch, or anything?
What do you have on you?
Let's see. So there's nothing in the room.
Nothing in the room, no.
Yeah, I wouldn't have anything on me, tool-wise. He'll yell to the guys outside. We need something to block these grates off.
Would there be like stone remnants from breaking into this mound, or?
There's probably something you could find that would be like a stone of some kind. No one has any hammers or anything like that, right?
No.
know.
You could just toss the mage's body in front of it.
Yeah.
So I think that because of your background in mining, Robert, you're able to sort of work out a way to sort of seal that thing.
Okay.
So that just leaves, then there is a second half of it on this side.
Yeah, so I'll burn that one back into its kind of grate.
Okay. So you seem to have secured this initial platform here. The rest of your companions are still up at the top. Vargosh and
I'll tell them it's safe to enter.
No, it's not.
I've contained the disgusting slime. Get in here, you wusses. We're not earning any money out there.
Damn dwarfs. Huh?
So I guess, God, like it must have been incredibly painful to jam your feet into those boots too, seeing that your feet were actually burned.
Yeah, I just gave up when it started to hurt, and I said, forget it, I'll just go barefoot.
Nice. Okay, so you go padding down. There's a bit of like bloody footprints that Vargosh is leaving behind, but I'm guessing that you're not letting anyone see that.
Well, they see it if they look down.
Well, I mean, like seeing him wince. Is he being stoic about it, or is he a like world-class whinger?
Oh no, he's like, what? My feet are bleeding? Yeah, whatever. Let's go.
Okay, nice. Okay, so you guys make your way down there, and then as I described, what you see is that the now clean stone floor, which is incredibly well preserved, like it's almost like a beautiful marble type. That goes into this fine stonework that makes up the wall. And there are carvings, like not carvings, but friezes that sort of run all the way on the inside here too. And it seems to depict some kind of, epic struggle of like some kind of like armored warriors against some kind of undead threat. There's skeletons and things like that. But this wall in front of you, it seems to be of a different material. What are you guys going to do?
I poke it with my sword.
Okay, so you poke it, and it's, each of the bricks that is in there is a little smaller than the ones that are on there. It doesn't like just fall over, but you sort of poke at it, and the masonry on this does not seem to be terribly strong. You think that maybe if you guys put some muscle into it, you may be able to push this wall open.
I invite the dwarf over to help me near the wall here.
Okay.
And then when he moves over, I give him a shove.
Into the wall?
Yeah.
How hard are you shoving him?
Just playfully, like kind of fun, like, hey, you missed it. Boop, boom.
Okay.
Except Dragon's a dwarf and plants himself.
Okay, cool. Let's do this. Each of you give me a strength challenge, please. And I think I'm going to give Vargosh a bane or boon on it because he surprised him, and I'm going to give Dramrin a bane on his because he wasn't expecting that. Oh, Vargosh. So let's see how. So really much of a shove, but Dramrin, you stagger forward. You hit the wall, and you're like, What do you do? Like, you don't go through it. You just sort of hit up against it.
What the hell?
I just thought we'd knock this wall down with something strong.
Well, now we'll try it with something soft. And Dramrin grabs Vargosh and throws him into the wall.
Okay. So here's what I'm going to get you to do is go ahead and give me a strength check against Vargosh's defense. So Vargosh's defense is a 10.
Okay. Boons or banes?
No banes, no boons.
What if I let him throw me into it?
Holy shit. Yeah, then you know what? You can give him... then you know what I'll let you do is... Dave, give me a D6 roll. We'll add a boon. What happens is when you're helping another, you get to add a boon.
I'm adding a boon or he's adding a boon?
He is. So he gets to roll a D6 and add that to the result. 20. Okay, so as I said, when you roll over 20, it gets even better. So...
I'm just kind of laughing because this is kind of fun. But...
It's great. Okay, so what happens is you push him and you fall through the wall. Like you goes, "Ah!" And Dramarin, would you kind of give me? No, I don't think you're not holding on, right? Like you were expecting to put him through the wall, so you're not going to like fall through after him. Robert and Airwolf, you see them doing this. What, like, you're not going to be able to stop them, unfortunately. But what is your reaction to this, knowing that that goop retracted somewhere behind these walls?
I'm just gonna inch closer to the stairs.
Okay.
What happened?
I didn't get it 300 years old by not being cautious.
Yeah.
How about Robert? What's he doing?
I think he's just bracing himself for trouble. I don't know that he's got anything in particular that he's.
Okay. So then Vargrosh kind of falls through the wall and into this. So you're like right there.
I'm still laughing. Big hearty laugh.
Yeah. So it seems to be echoing because this is a fairly big chamber.
Oh.
And would you give me? No, I think that you're. Yeah, you can see. So to your right there, there is an enormous statue, and the statue is, let's see here, a proud male warrior with a broad helm, a breastplate, greaves, a round shield, and a sword. And it is a gleaming and beautiful looking sword. And the thing is it looks like it's an actual sword set into a statue.
Well, I'll pick myself up off the ground.
Okay.
And lean through the hole and say, "Hey, you guys, see this? This is like a big statue out here. The real sword."
Do you see to your right there as well? Yep. That is a sarcophagus.
And maybe there's some dead people too.
Dram pokes his head through the hole and yells out, "You're an idiot!"
Okay.
What do you mean?
It kind of echoes out. Yeah.
We'll move over to see what's going on.
Okay. So let's see here. Now, I can't remember how literacy works in this. Let me double check here, because I'm not sure if any of you guys actually can read yet. Oh, read and write. Yeah. So common, your ancestry tells you the languages you can speak as well as any you know how to read and write. So, and the half-orc is the only one that might not have actual literacy. Let me see here. You speak the common tongue, so you can't read.
Got some symbols on it.
Yeah, and Dramarin, you speak common, but you only read and write Dwarvish. Oh man, yeah, you can't read either. Robert and Carol. Oh jeez. Let's see if your long life has actually afforded you some. Is that Jack or Jed?
Yeah, that's Jed.
Ah, it's my guy. I love a little noisy dog. Yeah, you only speak, read, and write Elvish. So you only speak common. So you guys make your way over, and there is some writing on the base of this. Now, based on your professions, guys, do you think any of you would have been literate based on your professions?
Nope.
Yeah,
Bureaucracy, there wasn't that jail.
It depends to what rank, I guess, Dramarin would have risen to in the military.
Given his current state, I'm guessing not very far.
Cool. Okay, so he's illiterate. That's cool.
I think Robert might be, just because of the healer thing.
Yeah,
You may have, yeah. Why don't we do this? Why don't we give me a what's this? It's telling me my contact is interrupted. That's weird. Are you guys still on Roll20?
Yeah, but I see it too.
That's weird. Now let's ignore it for now. If we're all seeing it still, let's ignore it. Oh, it's gone. Okay, so then what I need here, let's see, is Robert, give me a intelligence challenge, please. No, and I'll give you a boon on it because you're training that it might. If you succeed in this, then we'll say you're literate in that one. You are absolutely illiterate. So all of you guys are illiterate. Unfortunately. So there's definitely writing on the face of the statue, and it's holding this actual like gorgeous looking sword in its hand, but none of you guys can
read it.
No,
that's hilarious.
You know, I'm sure it's telling you to just take the sword.
It probably is.
Yep.
I know that
I think you can get it out of its hand. It's yours.
So no one else has moved into the crypt apart from Vargosh?
Oh.
Okay.
I'll take a swing. I'll take a swing at its hand with my sword. Try to knock it out of its hand.
Sure. Go ahead and just give me a damage roll. 1d6 plus 2. Yeah. So if you actually click on your character sheet, you just click on the roll next to your sword. It should make the little dice on the left there. It should make the attack roll and the damage. Damage 7. Okay, cool. All right, so you wham hit this thing, and you think you crack it a little bit. So it looks like it actually might be weakening. Robert, Dramarin, and Carol, would you all kindly give me perception checks, please?
All right.
Challenges. No banes, no boons.
Oh, not very perceptive again.
Okay. But looks like Dramarin is.
Dramarin knows some stuff. Dramarin knows some stuff.
Okay. So Dramarin and Kashi Carwell as well. Maybe it's your non-human nature that just kind of tweaks your senses to this, but you can hear from as soon as that like kind of the ringing echo of his weapon hitting the sword carries off through this chamber. You hear this kind of like some unintelligible voice speaking from over here. What do you guys do? I'm assuming Vargosh is going to take another swing, so I'm really more interested in what everyone else is doing.
I'm just gonna poke my head in and say, Vargosh, you're not alone.
Huh? I'm glad you guys got my back.
And then Dramarin sticks his head through the hole and yells, "Get out of there, imbecile!"
Huh? What are you talking about?
Oh God!
Aren't you guys coming in? Like we got into this big room now.
Oh my God! It's like role playing with Wes all over again. No.
So what is so Dramarin is trying to warn off Vargosh. What are you guys doing? You think you're getting close to knocking that thing off?
Kev's trying to goad me into doing it.
I don't know. I'm just giving you the facts. That's all.
Sure.
Does appear. I mean, like from the echo, like this seems like this chamber goes on for a bit, right? So, because you guys can let's see how far. Yeah, like you haven't even. Boy, look at that! It seems like it carries down. Holy smokes!
I moved a couple spaces.
Wow, look at that.
Yeah, and so I hit this sword right on the hand here, and I think I cracked it. I might be able to get that nice sword off there. Another shot.
You can see from there, guys, there's also markings on the side of the sarcophagus. The sarcophagus is made of stone with a stone lid on it as well. And it's got more of those same kind of exotic markings, the carvings and whatever. This whole place seems like it has not been disturbed in centuries. There's a layer of dust that you guys are walking through. And then on the ceiling above you, there's this arching kind of dome to it. And it looks like there is a bunch of like almost like a faux stylized starscape in the top, and then a centerpiece that is made of gold that seems to serve as like either the sun or some kind of like important celestial object.
Oh, there's got to be something good in here, and it's probably not alone.
Hmm?
You hear Carol. So what are you guys doing?
All right, let's grab the sword and let's get out of there.
Caribou, you did get the sense you think it might continue on more in this direction.
Well,
Just
we're
based on
probably
the
supposed to be looting this place, right? Like we're fighting for a share of something, and if we don't bring anything out, we don't get a share of anything.
Right.
The mound goes deeper in too.
Really?
Yeah.
Does anybody want this sword? Heck, I might take this sword. It looks a nice looking sword.
All right, we'll take the sword and let's go. Let's go.
Okay. Give me another damage roll there. Okay. So blam! And the hand falls off. And at that, we're gonna drop into initiative. So guys, here's how combat works in Shadow of the Demon Lord. It's very, very easy to keep track of. You choose either to take a fast turn or a slow turn. If you're taking a fast turn, you will act first because heroes always act first, but you can only move or take an action. If you take a slow turn, you can both move and act. It always goes heroes, villains on fast turn, heroes, fast turn, villains, fast turn, slow turn, heroes, slow turn, villains. So if you are going to take a fast turn, go ahead and click on your token and put a green token, a little green dot on it. If you're going to take a slow turn, put a red dot on it. I am taking a slow turn with whatever the hell is in here.
What? My thing went away. Oh, there we go.
A slow turn or a fast turn? So
Yeah, so slow turn means that you will act after everyone with a fast action, but you will get a move and an action. You can choose to wait until something happens as well, too. So if you click on the token, it's the second little tab there. Yeah. There you go. Perfect. Okay. Everyone's taking a slow turn. So let me show you. I'm assuming you guys are going to hold actions until you see something come out. Yeah. Perhaps unsurprisingly, lifting up from through the crypt comes
Sir Albus?
Spectral entity. Seems like he has the proportions of a man who would stand like 8 feet tall.
Oh!
Now, here's what I need you guys to do. Because of this horrific confirmation of an unquiet afterlife, I need you guys to each give me a will save. This is a fear check. So everyone give me a will save or a will challenge, please. And you do not get any banes or boons on this. Oh, Vargosh. Okay, good.
Robert did it.
Robert did it. Carol did it too. Okay. Everyone else keeps their nerve. Now, Vargosh, would you give me do you have any insanity right now?
Nope.
Okay, awesome. So give me a 1d3 roll. Okay, you become frightened, which means, hold on here. Will challenge. On a failure, you become frightened for a number of rounds equal to 1d3 plus your insanity total. So give me a 1d3 roll, please. Two, okay? So if you go into your character sheet, Vargosh, you can look under, there's conditions at the bottom, or afflictions at the bottom there.
Yep.
Just click on frightened. Boom. So you've got 1 bane in all your rolls. That will last for 2 rounds.
Okay.
You guys are free to act. I'll put him a little further forward because he's getting closer, so you guys can actually act on him. What do you guys want to do?
Destroy.
Okay.
Wait, did he rise up through the sarcophagus?
Through the sarcophagus. That's right.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Okay. So to make an attack, Dramarin, let me check here. Did I put a weapon? What did you pick as your second weapon?
Staff.
Staff. Okay, cool. And your strength is higher. So one sec here. Okay, so you've got. Go ahead and make your attack roll. Click on your staff.
No boons, banes.
No boons, no banes, because you're not suffering from. Well, that ain't good. So you swing at this thing, and it's clearly you're a little out of practice. That swing goes very wild, and yeah, does not connect with this spectral entity. At least does not do any damage. You go ahead and take your red dot off, so we know that you've gone. And then who wants to go next? Robert, Vargosh, or
Yeah,
Carol?
Robert's ready.
Okay, what's he doing?
He's pulling out his staff, or I guess he's probably already got it out.
Yeah.
And he will advance on this thing and make an attack.
Here it comes. Wow.
Wait.
Do I have your staff?
No, I
As a
didn't
weapon?
add it. Whoops.
Oh, okay. No problem.
I don't have a weapon. Staff. 1d6 plus 1.
It's a video game prompt. You have no weapon equipped.
6 plus 1.
Yeah. 1d6 plus 1 from the staff. So here we go. Big money. That hits.
Nice.
Boom! You hit this thing. Okay. It does not seem to be, there's not a massive strike on it, but it does seem to actually have some effect. Who wants to go next, Vargosh or Carol?
All right. Seeing that Robert's staff actually hurt it or affected it, then I will move in and I will.
That's so good. He was judging whether he just sprints for the
For the exit or not. Well,
Yeah.
you know.
Go ahead and click on your staff. Whoa! Nice. Now, you were unfortunately too low level for a 20 to trigger anything yet, but that is a pretty awesome strike, though. Wow. Okay. There's some old school elven jailing training that's going on there, or I guess hurting. Vargosh, that leaves just you. What are you doing?
I was going to charge him, but I'll. That sword that dropped off. It looked pretty nice, though, right?
It looks pretty nice, yeah.
I'm going to pick it up and run over there.
Okay. So I think that you'll be able to pick up and move over, but you won't be able to make an attack with it just yet. Now,
That's fine.
what I'm going to can I get? Okay, so if you look under where your weapons are, there, would you kindly add a new one and call it sword arm? And it'll do 2d6 damage,
Cool.
but it has 2 banes on it.
Oh.
Yeah. Now remember, you don't add like your banes. It's not both of them. It's just the worst of those rolls. The highest of those rolls will be subtracted. So it's a little cumbersome to use. So it's a bit of a risk reward situation here. Now, I may hear you guys. You may not be saying it out loud, but I hear you guys. Kev, this is a bunch of bullshit. You're against a incorporeal creature that we clearly have no fucking way of significantly affecting. Well, you know what, guys? I hear you. And that's why I want to tell you about a resource that you guys have called Fortune. Now, each of you guys has Fortune, and you can spend Fortune to either re-roll you can when you roll a d20 and it's a failure, you can spend your Fortune to make it a success. You can, when someone else is making a d20 roll, you can spend Fortune to give them 2 boons on the roll. Or when any player, including you, rolls a d6, you can expend a Fortune to replace the number on the dice with a 6. So you can make a failed d20 roll an automatic success. You can make a d6 an automatic 6, or you can give 2 boons to someone else on their roll. So hopefully that will make you feel a little better as we head into round 2. So guys, go ahead and click on whether you're taking a fast or slow turn with a red or a green token or dot on your character. Once you've got that set, we will drop into the initiative. Okay, someone's going fast.
Yeah.
Fast turn. All right. So guys, heroes go first. Who wants to go first?
I guess I'll swing again.
Okay. Whoa, nat 20. Holy shit, Carol.
Wow.
All right. So something happens at that point. As you hit it, you have now thoroughly got the attention of this long dead Thane, and it bellows, and there's this wave of ice, like a blast of ice cold wind. I need everybody to kindly give me a strength challenge.
Oh, I should have taken a slow turn.
No problem. Okay. Ooh. Okay, good. Oh, all right. So those of you who passed, you take 1 point of damage. Those of you who failed, you take 2 points of damage.
Ouch.
Okay. This is not a spell, so your spell resistance thing wouldn't apply there, Wick. Okay, but that's it. Carol, you've gone. Who wants to go next?
Driver will go.
Okay.
Da, da, da.
Gums. What does he wield? Does he have a staff as well?
Yep.
Holy shit, another nat 20.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Hey, so you hit this thing again. You guys are beating the shit out of this thing. All right. Who is going next? Still not quite down.
I'll swing at it with the sword I just picked up because it looks mystical and powerful.
All right, so you have 2 Banes on this. So go ahead and make your click. So click on your attack and then add 2 Banes.
So that just put a -2 there.
Yes, please.
And then does it automatically add my affliction for my?
It will add that as well. Yeah, so it should add. You should be rolling it with 3 Banes in total.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty good. Whoa, 5 Banes. Okay, something went wrong there. Oh, you know what? You put down 2 Banes on the thing, right?
Oh, on the sheet.
Yeah. So you know what? Go ahead and roll again, and don't add any situational modifier. You've already got the cumbersome or with the penalties from using sword arm. So go ahead and try again. Yeah, it should be 3 Banes in total.
Just as 0.
3. Oh. Okay, so that is a 9. So 9 is not. You bring this thing up, and bam! It hits down, and it cracks part of the what do you call it? Part of the lid of the sarcophagus, but it unfortunately does not connect with him. It's so awkward to use. Now, you have your fortune. You could spend your fortune to make that a success if you want.
I will.
Okay, so then. This is a savage strike. As that sword passes through this thing, it seems as if you tear, as if it was like spider webs, and it pulls through and actually tears part of this thing's fabric away. And it seems like as if it's got not a wound, but like as if it was like a canvas, right, or like a painting on a canvas, and you torn part of the canvas away. What are who's up next here? Next is Robert, I guess. Or Carol, you've gone, right?
Robert's ready.
Okay.
Oh yeah, taking my dot off there.
Okay. Robert, what are you doing?
He is attacking.
Here it comes.
Oh
no. Okay, then it is the Thane's turn. So the Thane turns. I'm gonna actually the one who hurt him is Vargosh. I'm going to roll red. So let's see here.
Come get me.
Dramrin. Apparently, he does not like dwarves.
What?
Okay, so
Okay,
what is your defense?
What was that?
What's your defense?
8.
Oh, no. Okay, so here we go. Oh, God, I rolled a 21.
Of course you did.
Of course I did. Okay, so Dramrin, you take... So, Dramrin, you take 8 points of damage. And then...
wow.
Oh, man. I need a will challenge from you, please.
Did anybody bring any poles?
Holy shit. Dramrin, my God. Okay, so this is a brutal fucking story. You can almost see like his beard is starting to whiten as it goes through. And you gain 1 point of corruption, Dramrin. And until you complete a rest, you have a Bane on strength attack rolls and challenge rolls.
Oh, what the?
This thing has sucked part of your very soul away.
Wow.
Ooh, wow.
Hey,
Okay.
does this thing count as a demon?
Now, hold on. It does not count as a demon, but remember, Dave, you have fortune as well. You could have spent fortune to make that will an automatic success.
Oh, I could have. Oh, well.
It's fine. Okay, awesome. So now you can describe for us how this, like his, more wrinkles have appeared on his face. His beard has whitened more, and it seems as if like it's kind of got its claw or its arm in Dramarin still, and it seems like it's slowly piecing the fabric of its torn image back together. Oh, that's the end of the fast turn, end of the round. Start of the round, Vargosh, you're no longer frightened. Guys, go ahead and declare fast or slow turns. This thing is, unsurprisingly, taking a fast turn.
Yeah, I'll stay on fast turn.
Okay. All right, so heroes are up first. Who wants to go?
Oh,
Robert.
Okay.
Sorry.
You guys will all act before this thing, so you can feel free to make whatever rolls you want.
No.
Oh, didn't. Hasn't prompt showed up for me yet. What'd you roll, Wick?
3.
Oh no, that is definitely not a success. What about who wants to go next?
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay.
Vargot?
Staff attack. Oh! Burn!
So none of these are showing up in mine. I'm just going to refresh. Oh, they
it's
just
an
did show up.
one.
Oh, and that one. Shoot.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So I think I can't remember if there's crit failures in the game or not, but that does seem like a Shadow of the Demon Lord thing to do. So you're using what, a staff?
Yeah.
Give me a strength challenge, please.
Strength.
Yeah, no banes, no boons. You shatter your staff into two. You swing at him so hard that you miss, and it splinters.
Just out of fear.
Yeah. All right. So then, Dave, did I hear Vargrosh's name bandied about?
Yeah. He hollered and screamed, and the other guys beat him because they're fast. But
Yep. Now, guys, remember, everyone else is sitting on fortune. You can spend fortune to give him 2 banes or 2 boons on a roll, if you so choose.
I rolled a 17. Did it not show up in your thing?
It hasn't showed up in mine yet. Is 17 the total?
17 total to hit. It's right above Chad.
Oh, I see it there. I'm sorry. Yeah. Okay, great. Wow, that is a really fucking good roll, and that is actually good enough to hit it and to dispel it. So, Dramarin, I think what you see is this thing has like latched its arm into you, and you can feel it slowly draining away your soul. You can feel the decades being drained away from you, and then this massive shining sword on the end of this like stump kind of tears through it, and it disappears completely, leaving you guys alone in the tomb. Dramarin drops. He's clearly in pain. Whew. Guys, the rest of the search is relatively uneventful because there's nothing else to encounter in the tomb. So in these closing minutes, would you guys each give me, and go ahead and maybe just roll them together. Give me 3d20 roll each, and let's see what other treasure was found in this tomb.
Did you say 3d20?
3d20, yes, please.
Like this, a D20 3 times?
Yeah, so if you hit roll 3d2, no, I don't want to do it 3 times because I don't want to scroll down the way Dave did it there. Dave O.
Oh, okay.
Please, so that it's just easier for me to read. Okay, so Wick, let's see here. Interesting. So 19, then 14, and then 7. So in the tomb, Wick, do you think there would be... Actually, no, I think it's going to be a longbow. So there's a longbow in here that seems to have the stylizing or the style, the sort of like the carvings on this thing. It looks like it's made out of, to be honest, that kind of like bleached and dry driftwood. And the little bit of like scrimshaw or whatever else, that's not scrimshaw because it's not on bone, but you know what I mean, the carving that's on here, it seems to depict a lot of Viking ships and stuff like that. Like it's got a very nautical kind of quality to it. Wick, while wielding this longbow, you can move across and stand on liquid surfaces as if they were solid ground.
Nice.
Yeah. Dave, oh, so it's here an 8. Interesting. 14. Interesting. And 17. Okay. So what you find, Dave, is it is a cloak, and on the cloak there is on the back of it there seems to be like embroidered. It's unbelievable. This thing has survived the ages here, which speaks to some kind of enchantment. When you pick this thing up and kind of look at it around, you get, if you throw it over your shoulders there, Dramarin, what you can sense is that you and up to 5 other people can join together and you can will this thing to activate and it will transport you somewhere.
Ooh.
You don't know where, but it'll transport you somewhere. Okay.
Whoa.
Next up is Robert. Let's see, a 7, a 13, and a 13. What you find in here is a small mallet, and it's like a tool that would be used, and it's fairly it's well made and you know, carefully. No, you know what it is? Is actually it's a carving thing. It's like a carving. I don't know, and like an auger. Is that what it's called? An owl? I don't know. But what it does is when you have this on your possession and when you're working with it, you increase your healing rate by an amount equal to your level.
Wow.
So it's like, if you're working on that, it just rejuvenates you. And then Vargosh, in addition to this badass sword, you find, let's see here, a 3. Interesting. 4 and a 9. You find a very fine ring. And the ring has the kind of like Nordic symbols around the outside of this thing. And you know that, Vargosh, because you try, I think you immediately try this on because you do not strike me as a very cautious type. When you know that when you are, it was a 9, right? When you move, you can choose to do so without making a sound, regardless of the surface.
Cool.
Now, I have 2 questions for you. First off, what do you guys do about the injured? There's probably a bunch of gold you recover from here as well. What do you guys do about the injured fighter outside? Do you bring him back to Helix? Do you leave him for, you know, for whatever else is in the Barrowmaze?
I assume that they have to pay us to go out here, like we used to have to hire.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it helps if your patron is alive to pay you.
Yeah, we just got paid though. We got paid in this tomb.
True.
What if we use the enchanted cloak And as far as he knows, we never came out.
The one thing I would say with the cloak is that, and I don't want this to affect whether you'd use it or not, because like the planning wise, I don't fucking care. Dramrin does not know where it goes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he doesn't know.
It might not take us back to Helix. It might take us to the middle of the Barrowmaze.
It might take you to the Helix. I mean, everyone give me an intellect challenge. No Banes, no Boons. Because no one's got any kind of like history or anything like that. Okay, Vargosh is remarkably clever about this. Vargosh is like, well, if it's down here, it's got to be a place related to this, right? Like, it would have to be a place that existed at the time this was made. I think Dramarin and Carol are like, I bet you it leads to Helix. And Robert, you're like, no, that's probably not the case. So we have some terrifically bad ideas being bandied about, and this is all happening down in the crypt here. What do you guys? Oh, the sword. I bet you want to know what that sword does too, right?
Uh-huh.
So the sword, it is a bastard sword. First off, so that's why it does 2d6 damage and why it has the penalties. It is also magical, so that it does it can affect incorporeal creatures. So it is a magic sword, and when used on what do you call it, on spellcasters, it gets a boon on attack rolls, and it does 1d6 extra damage.
Nice.
So this is a like necromancer bane weapon. It just so happens that it'll work on any kind of arcane caster. So, what do you think, guys? Having just met this group of reprobates tonight, what do you think they would do? Would they get this guy safely back? I mean,
I think Robert would help him.
Yeah, I guess it's probably Robert who bandaged him up in the first place. Now that I think of it,
I think so.
Right?
Robert would definitely help him back.
And you know this guy's career is over. Like his one leg was torn away by ghouls, and you think he may have actually caught ghoul fever. So like he's not going to be adventuring anytime soon. You'll be getting him back and getting it done. So then,
did the mage have anything on him?
There's probably some. Yeah, there's like a spell book. There's some other kind of gear, and most of it basically what I would say is that there's like just sufficient stuff to recover that would, like, if one of you decides to take as your novice path as an adept, which is like the arcane caster, then that's where you would be getting that knowledge from. So then the final question, or the second question I had for you guys, because it does seem like you're going to try and get this guy safely back, assuming that you survive getting back there, would your character go, it's not an adept, it's a magician. So would you go the novice path of magician, of priest, of rogue, or of warrior? Do you know yet, or?
I feel like Will would go rogue.
Go rogue. Interesting. Okay. What about Vargosh, Dramarin, or Carwell? What do you think they would go? Magician, priest, rogue, or warrior?
I think Robert would be leaning priest or warrior.
Interesting. Okay.
Not sure which yet.
How about Vargosh?
Warrior is the only answer for me.
Warrior is the only answer for him. Okay. So then, what I need, Carwell. Oh, and how about Dramarin, Dave? What is Dramarin?
Probably priest.
Probably priest. Interesting. That was a kind of revelatory experience of having his life drained out of him.
Yeah, well, and that coupled with the whole floor, his revulsion at that, and just kind of his general take to necrotic power. And
so we're going to assume that what's happened is that this is like one of the last expeditions of the year, and the fall, winter, and spring will pass between when these guys, we revisit them. That's why you're able to be different characters. But what I need, Dave O and Jeff, you guys have the book, so you know what the modifiers for your priest or whatever else will be. But just to let the other two guys know. So Chad, you get to increase 2 of your attributes by 1. So do you, Dave. So go ahead and pick 2 of your attributes and increase them by 1. And that's the strength, agility, intelligence, or will. And your derived attributes will also change. So your health will go up if you bump your strength. Your defense will go up if you bump your your agility. Your perception will go up if you bump your intellect. So have you guys made those checks and made those modifiers?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Then Chad, you also get +3 to your health. And Dave, you get +5 to your health.
Oh. How do you change your health?
If you just click on your health.
Oh, it just changes the others. Okay.
Yeah. Then, so you will also get a chance to add a language, or each of you guys a language or a new profession, but we'll deal with that in between. I just want to let you know what abilities you get, because this is what you get from gaining the specific this novice path. So at level 1, as a level 1 rogue, you get Wick a nimble recovery. You can use an action to heal damage equal to your healing rate, and then move half your speed without triggering free attacks. Free attacks are attacks of opportunity in this game. Once you use this talent, you can't use it again until after you complete a rest. You also have an ability called Trickery. Once per round, you can make an attack roll or challenge roll with 1 boon. If you attack with 1 boon with this talent, your attack deals 1d6 extra damage. So get a boon on your attack, and then you also do 1d6 extra damage. This is the Shadow of the Demon Lord equivalent of backstab.
And what was the name of the first one, sorry?
First one's called Nimble Recovery. And for Vargosh, catch your breath. You can use your action or triggered action on your turn to heal damage equal to your healing rate. Once you use it, you cannot use it again until after you complete a rest. So the difference there being is that you can actually use a triggered action. A triggered action is just like a swift action. You always do an action and a triggered action and a move on a long turn. And a triggered action you can do that on a fast turn as well. So you're able to access your heals a little easier than what the rogue can. You also have weapon training. When attacking with a weapon, you make the attack roll with 1 boon. That's all weapons. So all weapon attacks, you get 1 boon on the attack rolls, Vargosh.
Okay.
And that, guys, will end we only nearly killed 1 henchman, almost burned another one's feet off, but the henchman actually survived this session. And it was only 1 hero that came back. So let's, I'm going to get out of the game. And we'll do the outro. Quick sharing screens here. Stop sharing. All right. So, guys, in particular for Wick and for Dave, thanks for indulging me in the opportunity to introduce you guys to Shadow of the Demon Lord.
Yeah, no, it seems like a fun system.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it's really. I mean, to be honest, it's one of my favorite role-playing games, and I just haven't run it the last little while because I've been distracted by other stuff, but it's a really fucking fun system, and you get a lot of, it's fast and easy, and then the fact that it leans really heavily into the horror does obviously speak to my sensibilities for games too, so. But for those listening at home, thanks so much for joining us for this 34.1 session. Next session, we will be back to our regular heroes, and finding out what they're going to do about the troll cave before we move, or that not the trolls, the undead threat that seems to be gathering in the Barrowmoor, and yeah, that'll be in 2 weeks' time. Until then, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns regarding this, please don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. Chat was so active. I'm sorry, guys. I just noticed that we've had a bunch of people in chat. God, I'm stupid. Sorry. I will do a better job of responding. And anything that came up in chat that I need to respond to, I'll answer in the chat or the description of the chat, the comment section of the video too. So again, sorry. Let's see here, you'll notice as well, there is the link in the description of the video to the Hero Save Villages campaign. If you're a regular viewer of the channel, you know all about that. But if you aren't, then I just ask you to consider clicking through and learning a little about the charity fundraising campaign that we're running on the channel. You can reach me, if not in the comment section, you can reach me on Twitter at Dungeon Musings. You can also shoot me an email at dungeonmusings@gmail.com. And you can find more of me on the Dungeon Musings podcast that you can find on your favorite podcast platforms anywhere, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Podcatcher, whatever your preferred method of catching pods is. Last but not least, I do want to thank my players again. So in particular, those who did not know the system as well. Let's see here. We got Chad, Dave, and Jeff. Guys, thanks so much for playing Shadow Demon Lord with me tonight. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Thanks, Kev.
Awesome. Okay. So until next time, folks, thanks again for watching and happy gaming.